Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel and I want to make self-growth normal. If you want to make self-growth normal, because I don't want to do it alone. Who doesn't want to make self-growth normal? Then make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps with ranking and SEO and all this other stuff, and I really appreciate it because so much work goes into making these videos. Before I say anything else about this book, I want to say that I really like how he started by talking about his car, and he thinks, you know, maybe it's a status symbol to other people, but to him it's a symbol of I worked like hell to get this, and that means a lot to me. And then he compares all the different things in our way of getting what we want to different things in driving, of getting from A to B, like wiping your windshield clean of negative beliefs, looking at the most compelling intersections of wealth and the like. And it frames the concept of this book in a way that makes it more compelling and unique than the typical make more money gestalt. But okay, most books we listen to or read have a quote on the front. They have presumably lots of reviews at the gate, and that quote is presumably the one that will help sell the book the most for anyone who's looking at the cover. Well, this quote was, "You will learn more in 2 days from this book than you will in 2 years of business college courses, and it's 1/100th of the price." I didn't go to college. I'm 22, and I feel like if I went to college for business right now, I would have so many moments of, oh, I know about this, I've heard about this before, it's just a more technical way of looking at things. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. The Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft founders all dropped out of college. People bring that up all the time when it comes to the lack of importance of education with business. However, I did learn that as a counterpoint, they did go to college, and you know, that of Tesla and Amazon finished college, but none of the colleges that we're talking about are easy to get into in the first place. The idea of this book came from the author's younger days, where he heard about all these older people putting, other people putting money into a 401k, an index fund, mutual fund, and working, and all of a sudden, 40 years later at retirement, they are millionaires. They have all the money. They want to get a Ferrari, they can do it. Well, they want to go skydiving, they can do it. They want to donate 100 stacks to charity, they can do it. And he's just thinking to himself, this is not the 20th century. This is not the Industrial Revolution. This is a new day and age, and there has to be a way to make millions and millions of dollars without killing yourself for 40 years and then finally being able to afford the time and freedom you have been waiting for, or at least a way that does not involve signing a contract and working for someone else's goals, someone whose long-term interests don't really align with yours, ultimately, because some people are very happy as employees. They love the companies they work for, great companies. But here, the fast lane, this way to wealth, does not care. It does not care about your age, your background, your education, your race, your sex, your gender, your height, your weight, your past mistakes, your past successes, or anything. The author does tell his story, which is such a common thing I've noticed in like all books literally about getting rich quick. At least that I've listened to. Humbly speaking, it's probably no more than 15 books. There are 3 types of people in our more developed world right now. Most people are 1, sidewalkers, who have just about no financial goals at all. The only goal, if anything, is to not have a goal. These people buy lottery tickets all the time. They have no sense of responsibility or self-control. They think wealth comes out of luck. They have bad credit. They think that rich people are the enemies. They think that all the solutions are outside of themselves. If you know people like this, I seriously recommend ridding your life of them. If they are important to you and you've known them forever, get a new job, move away, or just do something to minimize your communication with them. At least communication that opens you to their negative influence. Those on the 2 slow lane, where you work for 50 years with like no income, it's very, very delayed gratification. And by no income, I'm comparing that to what I'm about to say, is then when you have a few million, there's the fast lane. Number 3, these people make a ton of money and just make more and more, and they don't go bankrupt or anything. That'll be me. And hopefully you. The author frames the definitions of these 3 in a way that surprisingly makes it out to be ideal to be on the fast lane. The one section about the real law of wealth blew my mind. Like any ideas that I got out of this book that make me money, that's gonna be the biggest one when I apply, where the author talks about the law of affection as opposed to the law of attraction. Because, law of attraction just involves thinking. He does mention action, like all the law of attraction gurus per se, but affection is something you can't put holes in. The law of affection involves math and science and actual numbers that are impossible to be like, this is wrong. But he explained that two things it applies to: scale and magnitude. And if I understand it correctly, this is the part that just like blew my mind completely. Scale is like how many of something, how many people, how many products are shipped or made or sold, and magnitude is the effect of how big like the impact is of those things, of, you know, X quantity. And when you combine the two, that is where the craziest fortunes are created. The author explains the 5 commandments of Fastlane wealth, building the commandments of need, entry, control, scale, and time. If you cannot leverage these to your advantage by using the internet as the fast lane, because let's face it, that's where the money's going. People think the internet is like a gold rush right now. Like it won't be around in 30, 300 years. But according to Jeff Bezos, like 10 to 15 years ago, the internet is not a gold rush, it's more like electricity. This is just the beginning. If you can't leverage these using the internet for like extremely fast, explosive distribution with content models, subscriptions, marketing, etc. Drop shipping, you know, e-commerce is like a $23 trillion industry, I heard somewhere. You can't really make all that much. The author says that making 10 to 20 grand a month is nothing. So if you want to learn a step ahead of where you're at, if the step you're on is under that one, he says making 200K a month or $1 million a month. Now that will truly put a dent in your lifestyle. Finding out what makes you tired, sick, what you hate, what you dislike, or really anything bad. Most people are great at this. What pain it creates, there's an open road, fast lane, like we were talking about earlier. It's a problem, and maybe you can solve it with better than anyone else, but do it with the internet. This to me is really another book of like flooded with insights on operations, scalability, what not to do, what opportunities are on the table. It's really like this mountain of the early 21st century that you walk up to it and it says, believe it or not, there are ways to climb me, but a lot of people don't care enough about them just to ultimately do it. Quotes. When you can finally afford a toy like this, you're too old to enjoy it. Wealth is a road trip, not just a road. Some want to look rich, others want to be rich. Normal has become a modern day slavery. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. 5 million is the new 1 million. No, that's not get rich quick, that's get rich easy. Small numbers have a large gravity toward mediocrity. Scale creates millionaires. Magnitude creates millionaires. Scale and magnitude create billionaires. Our choices have consequences that transcend decades. Until we see who we are, we cannot take steps to become who we should be. It's for others to say whether I'm useful or not. If you are forced to do what you love for a paycheck, that love is put in danger. Businesses that are run like hobbies pay like hobbies. Direction 1. I recommend this book more than anything for anyone who thinks their best bet at wealth is simply putting a percentage of their income into a mutual fund for 40 years and taking it out for retirement. Also for anyone who is looking for monetary opportunities in the digital age, and also anyone who thinks the opportunity they have chosen in the digital age for money is the most profitable one that they will enjoy the most. Direction 2. If you like this book, I recommend checking out What Would Google Do by Jeff Jarvis and How to Build a $1 Billion App by George Burkowski. The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and read the reviews. That and all the other books that I mentioned in this video, if you want to check those out as well. If there are any other books that you guys want me to check out and review, please let me know in the comments below. Also let me know if you checked out this book and you liked it. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe, but if you have subscribed and you want to turn up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere and I will see you then.